everyone. Welcome you all to Imagination Gallery. Here we try to show you different types of drawings and stories behind it. So if you are an art lover and wants to know the unknown facts, press the subscribe button now. Now let me introduce you to today's topic. Today in our World Tour series we will take our painting journey not to any country but a very special topic which is critical to the entire world in recent times. A wish for peace and no war. So like us, if you believe in peace, stay with us till the end of the video. From Imagination Gallery, we want to convey our message to the world in our way. No war, make peace. Friends, our World Tour series is always very diverse and exciting. Since starting, we crafted so many paintings of different countries around the world, and this quest still continues. But you know what we feel as an artist, that sometimes there are situations comes when you have to raise your voice against all odds. Then taking aside all things, we should fulfill our duties and responsibilities towards this world and society. And as like any other people, they do this in their way. An artist does this in his or her way. Through brush and a splash of color with emotion on a blank canvas. We guess that by now you can understand what we are talking about. The current situations, right? We are disheartened, so we couldn't help but we have to raise our voice for peace. No war. Peace and love is what this world needs. So if we forget the destruction happened earlier by so many wars in the world before, now is the time to take lesson out of it and remember them. We will recall here some of the deadliest wars happened earlier, and we'll take a lesson. Pray for peace. This is an artist's call. Are you with us? So if we talk about war, mankind cannot ever forget the deadly destruction caused by World War I. First of the only two global wars in history, it is also called the Great War. The First World War was fought from 1914 to 1918, claiming 17 million lives. It resulted in victory of Britain, France, Russia over Germany, Italy, Austria and Hungary. The League of Nations was formed after the First World War, but it failed kind of ensure to world peace, and eventually World War II was fought. Friends, can we forget World War II? No, we can't. Mankind cannot ever forget the Second World War also. Fought from 1939 to 1945, the Second World War is the deadliest conflict in history, with over 70 million fatalities. Involving all great powers of the world divided into Allied and Axis powers, it is the only war to have issued nuclear weapon till date. Marked by Hitler's Holocaust and mass deaths, World War II changed world politics forever. And after both the world wars, we witnessed some of the civil wars also. Say, Second Congo War between 1998 to 2003. Far and away, the deadliest war of the 21st century was a conflict that had its genesis in the 20th. The Rwandan genocide, the toppling and the death of Zairian Press Mobutu, and ethnic strife between Hutu and Tutsi people were direct contributing factors to the Second Congo War, also called the Great War in Africa. In May 1997, rebel leader Laurent Kabila disposed Mobutu and renamed Zaire the Democratic Republic of Congo. But he soon found himself engaged in a civil war with some of the forces that had elevated him to power. The eastern third of the DRC became a battlefield every bit as bloody and contested as the Western Front in World War I. The armies of 9 countries and an assortment of affiliated militias devastated the countryside. Angola, Namibia, Chad, Sudan, and Zimbabwe backed Kabila's Congolese government forces, while troops from Burundi, Rwanda, and Uganda supported anti-Kabila rebels. An estimated 3 million people, mostly civilians, were killed in the fighting or died of disease or malnutrition as a result of the conflict. Friends, the world also witnessed Syrian civil war. As the Arab Spring swept through the Middle East and North Africa, popular uprisings toppled the authoritarian regimes in Tunisia, Libya, Egypt, and Yemen. In Syria, however, President Bashar al-Assad responded to protests with a combination of political concessions and escalating violence against his own people. The uprising became a civil war that spread violence into neighboring Iraq and provided a fertile breeding ground for militant groups, dropping crude barrel bombs on urban populations and using chemical weapons on rebel-controlled territory. 4 million people fled the country, while millions more were internally displaced. At least 470,000 deaths were caused directly or indirectly by this war, and life expectancy at birth experienced a shocking plunge from over 70 years to just 55 years in 2005. Iraq War. In March 2003, US forces invaded Iraq, going to destroy Iraqi weapons of mass destruction (WMD) and end of dictatorial rule of Saddam Hussein. When WMD intelligence provided illusory and a violent insurgency arose, the war lost public support. Saddam was captured, tried and hanged, and democratic elections were held. In the years since, there have been over 4,700 US and allied troops deaths and more than 100,000 Iraqi civilians have been killed. Meanwhile, questions linger over Iraq's fractious political situation. We should mention here Yemen civil war. The Yemeni civil war is an ongoing multilateral civil war that began in late 2014, mainly between the Mansour Hadi-led Yemeni government and the Houthi armed movement, along with their supporters and allies. In December 2020, it reported that the conflict had caused an estimated 233,000 deaths, including 131,000 from indirect causes such as lack of food, health services, and infrastructure. Tens of thousands of civilians have been killed or wounded as a direct result of the fighting, including more than 10,000 children. Friends, we all know the current situation. The Russian Federation and Ukraine are currently in a state of war. It began in 2014 though, following the Russian annexation of Crimea from Ukraine. In February 2022, in this year only, Russia invaded Ukraine across a broad front. As we all know right now, we can see. After Russia spent several weeks building up a sizable military force along its border with Ukraine, and in neighboring Belarus, Russian leader Vladimir Putin launched what Ukrainian officials described as a full-scale invasion of the country. It marked the state of a new chapter in and a major expansion of an 8-year war in the country's east that has already claimed thousands of lives. The Ukrainian health minister said that 198 people have been killed and more than 1,000 others have been wounded in the Russian offensive. There has been many wars, prosecutions and traumatizations in the world over. War kills, and its consequences extend far beyond deaths in battle. Armed conflict often leads to forced migration, long-term refugee problems, and destruction of infrastructure. Socio-political status, economic institutions can be permanently damaged. They are damaged all over. There are no real victors, I believe in wars, as all parties involved has to suffer the consequences with often high numbers of casualties on both sides. Death, injury, sexual violence, malnutrition, illness, and disability are some of the most threatening physical consequences of war. While post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, and anxiety are some of the emotional effects. Recent studies document that exposure to civil war violence could increase post-war participation in social organizations also. Well, friends, I want to mention, this is not a political channel, and we don't support any politics. But through our artistic vision, here in Imagination Gallery, our aim is not to take a part in what wars can do, that we all might know, but to recall the lessons we should learn from all these destructions caused by war at every level, and it starts from us. As George Bernard Shaw said, peace is not only better than war, but infinitely more odious. And remembering John Lennon, as he said, imagine all the people living in peace, living life in peace. You may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us and the world will be as one. Our World Tour series, friends, will continue. We will continue to search this happiness, joy, love, and peace to share with you all. Let this be one family. Let's color the life of peace with Imagination Gallery. able to convey our message to you all, a wish for peace. If you like our drawing sessions and you want to know about different paintings and stories behind it, then do not forget to subscribe our channel. Wishing you a peaceful week. Stay safe and take care of yourself. Bye bye.